Hey guys, Silverlord here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Hush. Now before we get into it here, let's first take a look-see at both the front and the back of the packaging. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now before we get into the meat and taters of this review, Hush comes with a collectible trading card. I mean, of course he does. They all do. But as you can see, this, I believe, is photography of the figure. But I gotta tell you, much like I said in the Ghostmaker review, Todd Father's photographer's on point lately. I really like some of this artwork, but or photography, I should say. Well, it is artwork in a sense, right? There's a bio on the back. If you're not familiar with Hush, then, well, you're missing out on one of the single best Batman stories of all time, brought to us by the man, the myth, the legend, Jim Lee, responsible for, I think, the best X-Men lineup. I don't care. Screw all your 80s shit. Jim Lee X-Men is X-Men to me, and that's how it always will be. That said, Hush also comes with a pair of giant butcher knives. Like, these things are freaking gnarly, dude. These look like some Mortal Kombat knives. But he can't hold them both in his hands. The 2-pack version comes with a shovel, I believe, and I would rather have that, but this guy was 13 bucks, and that 2-pack's 40 bucks with a Batman with crappy paint apps on his elbows. So, you know, I'll take the cheaper route, especially since I'm a broke bitch right now and can't afford the 2-pack. So, it is what it is. That said, I do believe this guy's real name is Thomas Elliott. If not, let me know in the comments below what it is, because I am not 100% on that. But it's something Elliott at least. I've got that much down, I think. Taking a closer look at Hush here. He does come with the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Hockey Puck Display Stand. We've seen this a million times. Okay. That said, this guy is essentially a traffic cone that's highly articulated. Yeah. That said, I actually like this figure. He stands okay. His ankles seem to buckle, but they're not loose. It's probably just the weight of this trench coat, and it does have a tendency to push him a little bit to this side, at least on mine, so, you know, it is what it is. That said, he does have some purple gloves going on there, which, if I'm being perfectly honest, I think I would rather have the brown gloves from the 2-pack and the shovel. So, if I can get that 2-pack on some kind of a discount with a Batman that doesn't have the screwed up elbows, I'll definitely buy it. I'm a sucker for Batman stuff, much like Spider-Man when it comes to Marvel, and I will pretty much buy almost anything. So, you know, take that for what it's worth, within reason. I'm not going to buy all the Spin Master stuff and all the Kitty stuff and whatnot. I would buy some Imaginext, but there ain't none of that to buy, so on that, I suppose. But as far as Hush goes, really like the head sculpt. I think of the two Hushes, this is the better head sculpt. Really stoic, really stern, really intimidating looking. Lots of range too. He can look up okay. He can look down okay. Ooh. He can tilt side to side, and he can look side to side. So lots of range in there considering he's got this collar. That said, the shoulders go out to the side, go back down, they rotate forward and back. He's got that butterfly in there. No real, I don't think he has the little cat pieces, but I could be wrong. He's got a bicep swivel. That's not the prettiest, but it is a figure in a trench coat. That's not the easiest thing to do. Nice tight elbows, though. A little chunky there. I don't like that, but again, a guy in a trench coat, not much you can do there. This was the elbow that was a little looser, but it's not terrible. And then he's got the ball hinge wrists. They do move up and down. They do rotate at the top and at the bottom there, so you can get all kinds of crazy movement out of that. He pretty much just has a waist swivel. He's got the same joint that Ghostmaker had. He's got the joint that has the big kind of two-piece in the middle, a ball peg coming down into it, and a ball peg going up into it, much like the Clayface Megafig as well. And I gotta be honest with you, I prefer that to the ball hinge that's ratcheted, like the Batman Who Laughs, the first ones had, because that joint is a little bit more fragile. This joint is nice and sturdy. You could pop it apart and pop it back together without risking breaking anything, so I approve of that. That said, he can actually kind of do the splits, more so on one side than the other. And I find it hilarious that the guy in the big bulky trench coat can do the splits a little bit better than Spider-Man. He does have forward and back. He does have a little bit of quiver in the thigh there. Double jointed knees, which are tight enough. Then he has the ball hinge ankles with the rocker joints and the toe joints that are not tight and neutral, but could just be luck of the draw. Could just be mine. I'm well aware that these are mass produced and shit happens, but I like it when they're tight and neutral because then I get to gloat about how I feel responsible for why they are tight and neutral. But not today, I guess. You can't win them all, right? But that is Hush in a nutshell. He's cool. Is he perfect? No. But I don't have a Hush figure, and now I do, and for the most part, I'm okay with it. Hush is not a character that I really think needs to be all that dynamic. He's just a dude in a coat, for the most part. If he didn't have the coat, then I would maybe be a little bit more critical towards the articulation, but since he is in his coat, I don't imagine him doing a lot of ninja flips and stuff. And does he really do that anyways? That said, it is a bit of a bummer he doesn't have guns, because I know he's supposed to pack 2 pistols, but with that McFarlane Toys gun pack coming out really, really soon here, I know some people got it, but I have not yet. I'm very much looking forward to hooking this guy up with some guns and seeing how he looks. So, with that being said, let's now move on and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is Hush next to a couple other McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse figures. Nightwing from the Collect-A-Build Batmobile wave, one of the first Collect-A-Builds McFarlane Toys ever did, and the 3 Jokers Batman, who to my understanding shares some parts with the Batman in the Batman Hush 2-pack. Even though I'm not crazy about that Batman still, I think the scaling between him and Nightwing is pretty on point. Hush, on the other hand, seems a bit short, but with that being said, I hope we get to see more characters from the Hush storyline in the DC Multiverse line. I'd really like to see Scarecrow, Poison Ivy, Catwoman, and Robin, if I'm being 110% honest here. And last, but certainly not least, we have our 2 regulars, the Mythic Legions, Brother Mandibulus, the Beloved Spawn, as usual, towers over everyone. So with that being said, time to wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and aside from being a fully articulated traffic cone, I mean, let's be honest here, that's what this figure is, I actually do still really like good old Hush here. I never had a Hush figure before, and don't really plan on getting another one outside of the Batman Hush 2-pack from the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse line, if it goes on some kind of a discount, that is, because especially if I get the Batman with the incorrect elbows, well then, that's just no good, man. So, with that being said, if you are looking for a Hush figure and don't want to shell out a crap load of money for one of the older ones or the Mafex one, then this for 20 bucks or the super cheap price of $13 that I paid for mine will definitely suffice. That said, it ain't perfect. Again, it's a traffic cone with articulation, and you're just going to have to suck it up and deal with that until we get one with a better trench coat, I'll say, because while I don't mind the windswept look, I would prefer a open trench coat and some guns, but I guess we have Warner Bros. To blame for that one. So, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you're so inclined, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. And if you haven't already, please hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. But as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is, especially when a really nice sculpt is hidden by this very obtrusive trench coat. I'm just saying, he's got a lot going on in the legs there. You just can't see it. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.